Good afternoon, traders. Welcome back to a live Trader Talk session with myself, Bullish Bob, going over trades. We're going to go over charts. We're going to go over what we traded this morning. We're going to go over what's moving right now. We'll go over the scanners as well. So lots to cover. Bear with me for a minute. Going to get this link out to everyone. No position for myself at this time. Watching SPY and Tesla here. Making some moves here on the day chart. We've got Tesla hitting highs 257.52. It's a nice move. Let's zoom in on that. Got some levels to watch here. 250.02, 240.66. Just give me a minute, guys. Going to get this link out to everyone. If you guys are in chat, say hello. I will go over tickers as well. So if you want to throw those in the chat, be more than happy to go over a few tickers, charts and levels and all that good stuff. All right. Let me turn down my scanners. Got the scanners on right now. I use Trade Idea scanners for finding value in the market. All right, share this in Discord. Go ahead and share this into our free chat as well. Let me turn down the scanners here. And let me hop into the chat so I can see everyone's comments, and we'll go over whatever you guys want. So this is a casual session, nothing crazy, just a trader talk. We'll go over what trades we took this morning, why we took those trades, what we were watching, things like that. And we'll go over, of course, what's hitting the scanners now. Let me switch this. This is the scanner page, as you guys can see. And there's our chart. So we're going over this chart. We've got that whole scanner page, finding the value in the market. We're going to go over the chart here. We've got Tesla making new highs, 257.52. Nice moves on Tesla. Not bad at all. Let me turn this down so it doesn't make a whole bunch of noise in the background. And saying hello. Hey, Michelle, good to see you again. What are we watching, Michelle? Let me get this in Benzinga as well. We'll go over some Benzinga scans if you guys want as well. So this morning we had a nice pre-market session, despite it being not really having that much high quality type of setups. We had some low quality setups that gave us some rewarding trades, but they could have went both ways, and that's what we'll go over here in a minute. All right. So let's look at some low floats. We had top moving earlier. You can see it was on pretty low volume here. We've got a mess of a chart, right? If we just take this, we can obviously see this is a massive cluster of resistance. So, these are not the type of setups I'm looking for. What's great about, marking the levels of the chart is we can then assess, what level is going to, give us that opportunity, or what levels are going to give us a higher risk to reward type of ratio, right? And we can see here on top that this is just not my type of trade here. Not my jam, guys. This is not my jam. The reason for it, it's pretty obvious, right? We've got levels on top of levels on top of levels, and what these levels are, this is resistance. If it's above the current price, it's going to act as resistance. So if you guys ever see me share a chart, say in either Discord, or you see it in Benzinga, or you see it in one of the chats that I'm in, then what I'm doing is I'm basically saying that these are the key levels. These are the levels that I'm watching to possibly trade. So if I'm looking to, mitigate risk and, save myself from a massive loss, trading these risky names, then what I do is I trade around these levels pretty strategically. I've got a system in place, and it's just follow the system, follow what we normally do. But it's obviously it's going to be easier for me to say something like that because I've been trading for a while. So, there's one thing that you just can't teach, and that's the truth of it. There's one thing that you just cannot teach, and that is experience and of course screen time. They go hand in hand. So I guess two things. So screen time and that experience in the market. It's priceless. You need that experience. But the problem with that experience is, most traders, and I'm telling you guys, most traders, and I've been in this long enough to see traders come and traders go. And these were some good traders that are no longer, trading with us. I say that their trading is almost dead, but they've morphed into, I'm a long trader. I'm going to hold on to this. In other words, I'm a bag holder on some of these names. So, you got to stay disciplined. You got to stick to a system. We've got a strict system in place. We trade the confirmation strategy. It's very simple. We've got rules that we have to follow. So it's really, really simple to have that type of an approach, right? But just with that being said, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to execute, 100% accurately, because we are human. We're going to make mistakes. So we want to mitigate risk. So that's why these levels, they play such a major role, especially in my own trading. And that's because they are resistance levels. So if I'm looking to get into a position and it's say down here, and we've already, gapped up here, then, is it worth, a large type of size? Right? Is it worth? I've seen traders say it before, where not all trades are the same, and they're exactly right. That's true. Not all trades require the same type of approach. They're going to the one thing that we can always do on every trade is assess that trade beforehand, right? So if we have something that's hitting the scanners, and we know, we've got say Pixie, right? We've got Pixie all over the scanners here, FFIE. We've got a few names on this list, but if you had Pixie, let's see if I have this one up. Yeah, I do. Here it is. So most of these charts I have marked. I spend a lot of time just marking charts. But what you can see is Pixie just didn't have any volume. You can see that. Closed over its 153, but if we zoom out, we're going to see that it closed over that level before as well. So the problem is it's already filled these gaps. We've got, again, a cluster of resistance, right? So it's really, really simple. Just a cluster of resistance. It's so simple, right? In other words, we've got a whole bunch of lines. We've got a whole bunch of lines. We've got a whole bunch of resistance. And, it doesn't mean it's not tradable. It doesn't mean it won't, gap up through these levels. But what it's telling me, again, is it's helping me assess the conditions here and understand, is this worthy of me throwing, 5, 10, 15,000 shares or more, which of course is going to depend on your size account. But regardless, a larger size than you normally would. Is this going to equal out to, let me throw the kitchen sink at this trade as well as another that has a huge gap, right? We can easily assess and say, yes, this gap is 6%, right? We've got a 6% gap, 10-cent level. We need to understand we're not going to get filled all the time right at 153 and right at 163. So with that being said, you can't really bank on that 6%. You have to be more realistic, somewhere in here, maybe 3%. So that's really like a scalp, it's like a quick scalp. Is it worth, me throwing 10, 20,000 shares at something like this? I don't think it is. So, and of course, with my experience, I know that it's not. I know that. Okay. So sure, this, I'm not saying by me saying that though, it's not like I'm saying, oh, this can't continue. This isn't, it's not me saying that this thing is, a crapshoot and it's not going to $2.50 all the way up here, 81% up. What it's saying is I'm weighing out my probability here and I'm adjusting my approach based on the conditions that I see right in front of me. Right. And I think all traders, especially experienced traders, can agree with me on this, where, you have to be able to do that on the fly. And if you can't do that, so you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. So, if you have orders, if you're a beginner and you're listening in, or you're someone who's newer to trading, or you're just looking to possibly trade, or maybe you're an expert at trading and you just, you're looking for something else, I think you may be able to agree, but you're looking to adjust your size. You're going to want to have multiple orders available for you to be able to buy and sell. So you're not just going to, one size doesn't fit all. So you're not just going to have one button or one hotkey that says buy 5,000 shares. That's the end of it. All set. We're done. Right? That's just not the way it is. So have different hotkeys set. I recommend hotkeys. It's the fastest way for me to be able to get in and out. You know, I don't want to say it's a game, but it makes it feel almost like it's more of a video game type of approach. I've gamed in the past, and you know, so I'm kind of used to that. I like being able to not be staring at the buttons and whatever, and just have the fingers on the right keys. You will make mistakes at times, so you're going to want to have multiple orders just to, you know, bail yourself out. So don't have one size fits all for, you know, a hotkey that scales you out of your position. Have multiple. I like to sell 25%, 50%, 75%, or 90% of my position as we hit these profit targets above. So I always take profit when I see it hitting levels. And the one thing about that that's really tough, I think, especially for new traders as well, is you know, if I, you know, bought this and sold it in this gap and I got myself right here, 17%, well, that is a successful trade and I'm happy with that. So if this goes to, $5 from here, it's at $1.53 here, $1.58 was the high. If it went to $5, you know, and I had walked away, I'm not going to come back, sit down at the computer and be one of those woulda, coulda, shoulda guys, right? I'm just not going to do it. My experience in the market has told me that consistency is more important than the woulda, coulda, shouldas, right? So try to eliminate the woulda, coulda, shouldas the best you can. You know, it's hard because of course everyone is always out there making $1 million per trade, and we all want to, you know, ride that wave and make $1 million with them, right? But that's just not the truth of it. They're oftentimes they're not telling you about losses as well. And the fact is we take losses. That's just the way it is. It's, you know, day traders, there's no strategy that's going to give you 100% success rate. That's the bottom line. And if anyone told you different, they're lying to you. So, you know, we're just going to cover a few charts. If you guys have any ideas, throw them in chat. Let me check out the chat. Natty, always great to see you. Brett, good to see you. Thank you for joining in. And now, good to see you too. What do we got? John, love it. James, sorry guys, just seeing it now. So I'm in chat. Hey guys. Thank you all for joining. Let's see. And you've got some things here. No worries. Appreciate you joining in. Let's see. Vino. So Vino, this was a good one this morning on this one. So let's take a look at it. So the levels I have, you can see here, and now you can see that I have these key levels on it. This is the one I took a loss on. This is actually the one I took a loss on. I took 4 total trades today, right? 4 total trades, which is it's you know, pretty rare for me. I don't usually take that many trades. That was on 3 different names, 3 different tickers, which is again, you know, a little bit on the rare side for myself. But Vino, V-I-N-O, was one of those. And this was actually the only and first red that I had this morning. But I will tell you that we traded again. And the approach here, and I'll tell you about this, is the strategy remains the same. So there will be times that it will fail. So if you see this level right here, this white line, this is a major level right here, this white line, right? 277, that was a major level. If we pull up, let me see, if I pull up Benzinga and take a look in here real quick, let's go to the low float channel. So if we go to the low float channel, you'll see Vino should be in here. There it is. So you can see on this one, and at 8 o'clock this morning, I said Vino was worth watching over the close of 277, right? The reason I said that is because at that point, let's go to 8 a.m. So let's see. This was 8. So this was the first move. Oh, this was 8 right here, the first candle. So on that first candle, we already knew where we wanted to watch this one for a possible, you know, area, right? So let me check and see if I had this in our Discord as well. We've got a key levels channel that I put these in. So all of the key levels you guys see in Benzinga, this is from a private channel that we have here in Discord. We've got, here we go, you know. So at 8:01 this morning. So at 8 o'clock this morning, we were well aware that that was what we were watching for, was that 277. So this level here is the 277. So if I put let me see, a little price label here, that was our 277. So, to make it really simple, the reason we're looking at that level is because it's one of the larger time frames that we have for support and resistance. So we use sometimes monthly, weekly, daily, 4-hour, and sometimes 1 hour as well. So we use a lot of time frames to mark these charts. There's a very specific way we do so, but it helps us find and depict where the resistance may show itself. And if you zoom in over here, this is where I took my first trade on Vino, and we were already in the green. So luckily I was using profits for this, gave back profit, took this close over, did not add into it, was not overly thrilled with this one. And the reason for it is if you go to both Benzinga as well as our Discord, you'll see it has a cluster of resistance, right? So not only do I tell you about the level that it needs to close over and the key level, but what's more important is I also try to give you a heads up because I'm assessing this chart. So that's what I'm doing. First thing I do is mark the chart. Second thing I do is then assess which one of these gaps is going to give me the highest risk to reward ratio, the best setup, right? The most money on my trade without worrying. And just because I see a massive gap like this one up here, if we see 422 to 470, I don't just assume that that will fill, but my conviction into a gap like this getting 10, 20, 30 cents per share is higher than it would be on a gap that's something like down here, right? So that's basically my approach there. That's my whole thing right there. I mark the chart, I assess the levels. You know what's great about this one too, and is that what we can do is I just set an alert. So as soon as I know at 8 a.m. So if this was when I got the alert and notified everyone, this is where I'm watching right in this area, and I said, you know what, it's got to close over this white level of 277. Well, immediately I just right click, add alert right there, and there we go. Hit create, and we're done. We've got ourselves an alert. So what I can do is just now I can go, mess around with other charts. I can mess around with, what else is moving? What else is giving me opportunity? And of course, the scanners are going to tell us where the value is. Right now, we've got BTAI on the scanners, FEMY. So it's all over the place today. Pixie this morning or earlier today. And this is on our trade idea scans. So let's see. We've got BTAI. Does that make sense, and? Makes sense, right? Yeah, because, we have a specific way of how we're marking the charts. It's a way that I've discovered over a very long time of doing this. And so, we get these charts out. If you notice in our Discord here, you'll see Mark Charts channel. So everything that hits my scans will be marked and sent out into our Discord. You can see this was from 7:30 this morning. We had VVOS was updated at 7:40. So it just helps our team to be able to then compare their levels. So, my way of marking charts is not the only way. Let's just say that. The way I mark charts is not the only way. What I always say is compare your levels to mine. That's what I always say, because the thing is if we both have the same level or a couple same levels, then what we can do is we can add conviction into our own approach, our own trading, right? But yeah, that 277 was definitely what we were watching for. Let's take a look at BTAI. I haven't seen this one yet. Marked it this morning, but have not taken a look at it. Let me get this out to our chat as well. So what I do, guys, I spend a lot of time, and as I'm sure you do as well, I spend a lot of time marking charts. What's great about the scanners is they'll notify me what to look for. So right here, BTAI, I'll put it in our chat and post the chat or the ticker. BTAI updated. And the reason I add updated to it is now you can come in here and you can say VVOS updated into the chat, and you can see all of the charts that have been updated and added. So if you're looking for a specific chart, that's all you got to do. I try to add them in Benzinga as much as I can as well, but I don't want to clutter the chat up too much because a lot of traders really don't fully understand what I'm doing here, and that's kind of why we have these live educational sessions. So I'm in no position at this time. We are green on the day. Profit protection mode is on. Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. Yeah, Vino was one of those, right, John? This was a heck of a move at open. You're exactly right. And then if that's the other thing, did you notice that, John? $4. Where do we have our key level? $3.99. Did it close over? No, it did not. It did not. Look at that. I mean, it doesn't get much cleaner than this. I mean, over here, why did it fail the level? Had a bullish vertical trend, right? If I let me see if I click on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles in a row. So it does not mean this is not a confirmation. That does not mean this is not a tradable confirmation. What this means is, again, I'm assessing those conditions beforehand and adjusting my size, where to put my stop and my approach based on this right here, right? And we've got a whole section on that. If we go down here, you can go down to our major red flags. 5 major red flags: low volume, major reds, bullish vertical trend, float size matters, and a cluster of resistance. It matters, guys. It really does. So if we see any of those major reds, we'll look for it. Bullish vertical trend, what is it? It's exactly that. It's exactly what you're seeing. You can see that we have examples here going over the strategy, and we have a lot of free content on YouTube as well for anyone who's looking to learn this strategy in detail. So we've got VINO, hit that target at the top. And again, VINO, the move started what time? At 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Let's see when the chart came in. So let's go to, let's just type it in the top. This is the fastest way. So Vino updated. Let's see what we got. Today at 8 a.m. You guys see that, right? Look at that. At 8 a.m. it was in charts. There's the news on it right there at 8. So we had a lot of reason to believe that this was something that's worthy of possibly trading. We just had to see if it fit our strategy. And what's so great about our strategy is, again, we are not sitting here watching this all day long. We're not sitting here waiting and watching and whatever. I'm already in and out of Vino. I traded it twice, 1 red, 1 green. I'm very happy with my profits made. I'm done. So, again, this move, I don't care about. I'm happy if you were in the trade. If you are in the trade, you're on the team, you're making money. I love that. Love it. I want to see it, show it. Let's get, let's just get paid. Let's get some money. But I also want to see you be able to have that strict discipline to shut it down and lock in your profits when you're green. Because if your, strategy like ours is very high probability, then you don't have to take multiple trades throughout the day to make, huge profits. You could just, hit one of these with enough size for it to matter. But let me tell you this, let me be the first one to tell you this if you haven't heard it before. If you are focused in on your size and you have not established consistency, then you will get yourself into trouble. That's something that I did myself. So what I had to do was focus on consistency first, and then we can focus on, how much size we can throw at this, right? And even so, I'll tell you what, even after that, even after I, got the strategy and everything, it still didn't matter. The emotions for each one of us will be different. We are human. When I trade, 10, 20, 30,000 shares, then, parts of my body starts to clench up a little bit, and that's just the fact of the matter. But luckily I've learned to be able to tame that in a sense. But with that being said, trading larger size, emotions are going to come with that. So it's going to be, a lot higher risk because we are, possibly going to make some mistakes. That's just the way it is. So BBAI. So, and now going back to your question from earlier, why am I picking that level? Why am I, marking the charts the way I am? It's very specific the way we do things. It's a very long and detailed message. We've got that fully covered here in the strategy guide. You can find exactly how to mark these support and resistance levels, and you can really benefit from something like that. But so I mark all of these. I try to get those levels out so you don't have to do that. I'm trying to save everyone time. I'm trying to, again, I've been able to find the speed, and of course we all think time is money, right? So we can see here very easily, $3 is a major level. We have that marked already. So we hit the $3. The high is $3. We all, of course, know that's a whole dollar test as well, mental level. So we want to be aware of that. So what are we looking at now? We've got a cluster of resistance, right? One of the red flags that we look for. Oh, that didn't work. There we go. So we've got a cluster of resistance, right? So again, this is one of the 5 major red flags that we go over. So if you're looking at our strategy, if you're trading the confirmation strategy, what you're looking for is these 5 major reds. And if you see these, then you want to be careful. If you see a cluster of resistance, you want to be careful because again, it's going to present a lower quality type of setup. Does not mean it's not going to give you high quality results. I want to make that very clear because I know a lot of traders mistake that. They say, you know, Bob, you said that this level is crap. You said it's, you know, it's not that great. No, what I'm saying is that I'm not throwing the kitchen sink at this trade opposed to maybe this trade, right? This gap right here, if I measure this gap here, this is a 6% gap. It's not huge, but this is a better gap than say I took this, you know, level to level, that's 2%. Now, of course, we all want to get into the trade early. Trust me, I understand the feeling, but you get into the trade too early and it knifes down on you, you're going to be regretting that decision. So you have to be very careful with, you know, just leaping into things based on, you know, what you see. Yes, Brett, good question. Resistance line, but closing. So Brett in chat is asking, let's see if I can go over stocks that are bouncing around an area. For example, it breaks the resistance line, but closing above and below the resistance line. Well, Brett, you don't often see that unless there's red flags. You don't often see that. On high volume movers like Vino, you don't see that. And like I said this morning, if you were trading with us in live voice this morning, I think you might have been there. I'm not sure. Again, I took this trade. So what do? I take this trade because it closed over the level, and that was my level to trade it. But what do I do after? Once it closes below, this first candle that closed below, I bail on the trade. So this candle closed at, let's see, 270. And we had a level at 277, I believe. Let me see. I believe that's where the close was. So on Vino, I exited my position here. And then I get back in once we close back above. Now, I got in back on this candle. At this point, I wanted it to hold the next level, which was, if I look to the right, 291. So this purple level here was 291, and I'll add a couple price labels here. So this is a really good example. And then if you notice here too, Brett, it then closed over this next purple level right here and failed, right? Closed over. Let me see if that was a close. Let me turn off the indicators for a minute. So we've got a line right here at, let's see. This one closed over, but I can't find the thing. Let me see if I can do it this way. There we go. All right, so this didn't close over. Okay, I'm sorry. That's a red candle. So if we zoom in here, you can see this is a red candle. It did not close over. This was the first close over. This was the first close over. So that's what I'm looking for, the first close over. This is the first close over. This is the first close over, but we had a bullish vertical trend. Sure, I could take this trade. Boom, loss. Okay, second close over here. This closed at 356. The level is 352, I believe. Let me look right. 352 is the level, closed at 356. That's what you want. Then boom, hit target, take profit. Closed above on this candle, barely, but it did. Hit target, boom, take profit, right? Closed below, that's it. That's all she wrote. And you know how I am, Brett. I don't usually trade these levels. You've been trading with me for a while. You should know that I don't trade these type of levels. I won't do this. I'm not going to trade in here anymore. That's not what I'm doing. I'm looking for bullish momentum. I'm looking for continuation. I'm looking for this to return to, you know, where it left off, and that was the 399. So at this point, I would go into our chat. I'd go to the key levels channel, and I'd say that, let's see. So for continuation, this is what I typically do. So I assess it, goes over 399 and 4. The reason it's not A plus is it's got major reds. Wow. It's got major reds and a cluster of resistance. So again, I'm trying to notify you why this one may not be A plus. And, you know, from there, you need to assess the quality for yourself because, of course, we all have different size accounts. We take trades differently, all that. But that being said, regardless, this is not going to be high quality. So if it closes over 40, if you're looking for continuation, it has to get up here. So at this point, again, like I was mentioning earlier, right click, add yourself an alert, and we're done, right? Just create and we're done. There's no more watching this chart. There's no longer us watching Vino. We don't care about what Vino does anymore. Unless, of course, we get those bounce watch alerts and you're looking to possibly trade those and whatnot. But even those I'm not in love with, as I'm sure you know by now. Enters oversold, little bounce, not much. You can see the volumes dying out here. If the volume is strong, you're going to see white candles on my chart. You can see the volumes just dying out at this point. So to be honest with you, this morning I wasn't in love with this. I'm still not in love with it. The reason for it, it's just littered with lines. That's why. I don't love it because it's just littered with lines. Now, does that mean it's not going to get up to 100% up to 496 from its current price? No, that's not what it means. What it means is that I just don't like it. I don't like it. This is not the one I'm going to, when I assess this chart, this is not the one that I look at and my eyes light up and I say, ooh, start licking my chops and say, ooh, we're about to crush this right now. We're about to, you know, this is going to be great. Not so much. So does that make sense, Brett? I think that touches base with what you're asking there. Yeah, and John, you're exactly right. The half and whole dollar, it's going to hold some weight, especially the whole dollar. I found in my experience, especially the whole dollar. Yeah, and these pivot points, as we know, you know, you guys should know by now that these pivot points, they hold a lot of weight. I mean, they're worth keeping an eye on. That's for sure. They're worth, like I said, guys, it's not the only way to mark charts. You can do supply and demand. You can do, there's other ways to mark, you know, support and resistance. Some people don't care for the support at all. They just look for the resistance. You know, it really depends on how you go about it, but that's not really the point here. The point is I'll mark the chart the way I do. I'll get it out to you as fast as I can. What I want you to do is to be able to compare your levels to mine. If we both have the same type of levels, same areas, then what you can do and what I do is add conviction into my own thinking there and you know, basically weighing out the pros and cons of the trade. If, you know, five of us have the same level and, you know, we're all trading around the same level, well, it makes me feel better. I'm sure it makes you feel better as well. So it's just really simple. So right now I'm not hearing anything on the scanners. We had that BTAI, it's curling back up. So this is one to watch, I guess, right? At this point, we'd have to close over the 303 and 307. Did I add that into the channel? Not yet. So again, same thing. So BBAI. I would say worth watching close over 303 and 307. I add a couple of them because, you know, they're not perfect. And it also has a cluster of resistance. And right now I'm seeing low volume. So this is a concern because, of course, low volume, it's, you know, it comes with the time of day that we're in too. I mean, it's lunchtime. It's 12:30, right? That's why we're doing a little trader talk session here. Wake everyone up. Wake up. I've got my beverage of choice here. My wife got me some Izzy's sparkling juice. This thing is good, guys. I'm liking it. What's everybody watching? My pleasure, Brett. My pleasure. You know, Brett, to be honest, man, I don't trade in these levels, man. I don't do it. It's discipline. I can't say that enough. I can't drill that into everyone else's heads enough. I'm telling you, lack of discipline will eat you alive in this market. You have to be disciplined. You have to stick to the strategy. Like this right here. I mean, this is a good example, Brett. You know, this gap has already filled. Is this a high quality trade? No, it is not. No, it is not. This has low volume, so it knocks it down. Does that mean it's not going to break through these levels? No, it can still break through them, you know, and if anything has a possibility of doing so, it looks like, you know, this one may do it. Look, yellow candle into a cluster of resistance. Let's see what it does. Watching this live right now, 12:37 p.m. Eastern time. That's lunchtime. We've got a high at $3. It's a whole dollar test. We've got resistance at 303, and 307. If we close over this 303, 307, that's what we're watching for. Let me see. If we got over this level to here, you know, that said, guys, it's only a 5% trade. You know, it's 5%. So when we assess this chart, I'm not sure it's really worthy of throwing the kitchen sink at something like that. 6% above that. So if we can get in here, get ourselves a 5% trade, maybe it's something that's worth it depending on your size account, but I'm in profit protection mode. So I'm not sure I'll be taking this trade. If I were to take this trade, I would take it with reduced size because of these conditions that I see. Red flag is low volume. Red flag is cluster of resistance, right? I don't know why that keeps doing that. Cluster of resistance here. So a couple red flags to consider. Let's see, we could even, clone this and move it up here as well. So we've got cluster of resistance on both fronts here. So, it's not bad. Even this is considered a cluster of resistance. Let's see. It's a small one, but it's still a cluster of resistance because it's got multiple lines. You can see 1, 2, 3 lines there. So 3 levels of resistance there to watch out for. So in other words, if I'm in the position, not a bad idea to lock in some profit if in this type of area. So say you got in down here at the 275, or say you got in here at the 288. Again, maybe it's not a bad idea to lock in some profit. Hold yourself that type of lotto in case you feel there's continuation. What I like to do is sell 25%, 50%, 75%, or 90% of my position. Hold that small lotto. Typically it's 90% out, 10% in, and just hold a small lotto. It's not much, but hey, sometimes you get a little icing on that cake. When those lottos turn into 100% gain, it's really nice to be able to cash it out, just double up on your money. I mean, you take $100, turn it $200. It's nice. It's nice on a bullish momentum type of move. But that being said, I want to lock in profit when I see these type of setups. And that's because, again, the probability of it breaking through is just less likely. Now we've got nothing else moving. This is the last one that's been alerting on our bullish momentum scanner, right? Bullish momentum watch. We've got the high of day watch. Oh, guess what? It's BTAI. So we know what one to watch for that possible momentum and that possible move that we're looking for. And it's going to be BTAI. But that being said, is it going to be high quality where we want to throw the kitchen sink at it? No, not so much. But that being said, again, you can still take a trade here, right? It's still confirmation. It needs to close over $3, 303 and 307. Hold that level. If it closes over and then closes back below, boom, that's it, bearish. We just don't like that one bit. We want it to hold a level. We don't want to hold overnight. We don't want to be bag holders. We don't want to overstay our position and let it fall all the way back down to no man's land and, take that type of hit. So BTAI, let's watch it here. Let's see what it does. And these are good ones too to have those hard stops. The benefit of being here in the market session is you can have a hard stop set to your order. So you can come in here and say, okay, this is gonna be my stop loss area. It's right below my other level. I get in over here, taking some profit here. I've got my stop. If it closes over, then we can move our stop up, right? So you can kind of trail your position like that. Look at that. Volume's coming in, white candle. Volume is coming in. I'm seeing, let's see, about 120,000 shares on it right now. Not bad. That's picking up. That's what we want to see. We want to see high volume closing over the 303 and 307 level. So these two levels over here. I think you guys can see that, right? Can everyone see the chart pretty well? It's my pleasure, Brett. Appreciate the question. Thank you, Natty. Thank you, Zerdy. Appreciate it, guys. Good to see you, Zerdy. Hope you guys are doing well. Look at this. So BTAI. So look at that. So if you're in it, again, not a bad idea. Hitting that target, that resistance, not a bad idea to lock profit in. Let's see what it does. We got 35 seconds here. Let's see if this is a pop and drop. I hope we don't see one of those nasty knife candles, right? The big pink. If we see a major pink, this would be probably the first one I think it's had. I don't see any major pinks or major reds on it. So let's see what it does. Hitting resistance. Yeah, it can happen, man. It can, we all lack discipline at some point in our career. I don't care who you are. We all lack discipline. Yes, again, it's not something that you can just learn, just by reading a book. It's screen time, it's experience. And look at this, guys. Do you see the false breakout we just had? See? I guess we're not the only ones with the idea of let's take a little bit of profit off the table here, right? I guess someone is deciding let's take some green. Let's get some money on this profit. Let's Steve Miller Band, take the money and run. Let's see if they get back into it. Really, again, if you're trading confirmation, we don't buy that. If you haven't entered your position yet, we're looking for a close over 303 and 307, right? Because that is the key levels. So we've got BBAI, if I can say it right, 303, 307. 303, 307. See, this is 303, this purple level. And this is 307, this red resistance. I like the close over 303 better than the close over 307. But that being said, if you're in at 303, you got to take profit into 307 just in case this thing starts to knife down on you. But we don't have any major reds yet, so it would be the first one that we see. We've got this nasty candle here, but it didn't post a major red. This was negative, let's see, only negative 1.7%. So yes, it looks like a massive false break. If you measured it from the top of the candle down to the bottom, and you suffered that, that's about 4%. You know, about 4%. So again, if you're looking to trade a 4% or 5%, 6% gap, and you're looking at these possible 4% losses, it doesn't really add up. So you got to be careful and pick and choose the size that you take depending. So if you take this with a smaller size, you take a better setup with a larger size, you know, typically you can get yourself into the green, but it really depends on your, again, your discipline. So yeah, exactly, Brett. You see that? Yeah, that's one confirmation save. Let's see what it does here. It's we had one over here too. This is a false break as well. It hit the target, some resistance, but didn't break out. So here we go. We're getting some a little bit of volume here. We've got about 10 seconds. Now we've got low volume overall, as you can see, closing here in about 5 seconds. It's picking up. So here we go. Let's see if it can hold. Now it didn't close over the 3. So this could be a false break, or it could just fill the gap in one move. So this would be a risk it for the biscuit lotto at $3. So this is possible because if you look left, there's no closes over that level. There isn't a single close over the $3 level yet. So this is technically speaking our first close over. Is it high risk? Sure. Would you take profit at 303, 307? I would take profit there. Want to see a close over 303 for it to continue. And you can see that this thing is having a hard time really getting into that gap. We haven't closed over our 303, 307 level yet. Let's see what it does. We've got 25 seconds. We're being patient here, guys. Stop licking those chops. Cut it out. Stop it. Stop it. Take a sip. I'm gonna get a drink here. We are not jumping the gun. We are waiting for confirmation. Let's see what it does. And that being said, we want to protect ourselves. So if you're in this position from down here, you're moving your stop up here, right? So keep that stop moving up. You know, grind up with that stop. Look at that, guys. Another false break. So far, we've had 3 false breaks at the 303 and 307 level. So, you know, what I would love to see, close over, continue, hit 320. Give it to the people. Just give it. Close right here, too. Close about here, rip up there in less than a minute. That's what we want to see. Give it to us. Let's see what we got. That's only 16 cents, though, so I'm not sure it's worthy of my trade for now. But that being said, keep that stop loss, hard stop. That's what I would recommend. That's what I would be doing. Of course, this is for educational purposes, guys. This is not me trading. I am not in this position right now. No position for myself at this time. Profit protection mode is on. And I love to be able to say that. I think a lot of our team members were able to say that as well. We've got BTAI. Look at that. False break. Retracing back down a little bit. You know, I used to be the guy. I used to be that guy, right? The guy where I'd say, oh man, you know, I think I'll just hold on to it because it's going to curl back up. And then before you know it, I'm down here, I'm down 6%. Then I would be down 20%, then 30%. I've gotten caught in some nasty knives before where I kind of learned my lesson and said, I don't think I'm going to keep doing this. I think I need to take it easy, right? So BTAI, close over 303 and 307 is what we want to see. There's really nothing else moving. We've got BTAI on the scanners. It's the last thing on the scanners for, you know, since the beginning of time, it looks like. So bullish momentum scanner, looking for that value in the market. Guys, what do you have in chat? Natty, profit protection mode, love it. Yeah, John, they're out there licking their chops, man. I'm telling you, they're watching these gaps, and listen. I think you know it. I like big gaps, and I cannot lie. Let's be truthful about this. I like big gaps, and I cannot lie. But I will not let the gap overshadow the strategy. So let's repeat that, right? I like big gaps. I cannot lie. Don't let the gap overshadow the strategy. I know it sounds maybe stupid to some, but if you've been trading for a while, then I'm sure you agree with me. If you you veer off the path of your strategy, then you can. That's where losses occur most times. But again, there's not a single strategy out there that I've found that is 100% profitable. Anybody who tells you that there is, they are lying to you. Right now, if anyone's in this, I would say this would qualify as a risk for the biscuit if I've ever seen one. Has not closed over its key levels yet, but it's over the 297. So if you want to play hardball, maybe you could do something like that. But you know, I don't think it's, you know, I think it's higher risk than it is reward. But that's just my approach on it, anyways. Nice. Ultimate bag holder. It's good to see you. I'm telling you, I don't know why you still have that name, because I see you making money in the chat all the time. I love the name, though. I really do. Profit protection mode is on. Great job, Lewis. I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys. So what does that tell you? What does that mean, guys? So for, you know, for everyone who's out there that's, you know, thinking about profit protection, what does that mean to you? You know, what does that mean to you? To me, I can tell you what it means to me. It means that, you know, this isn't really worth my time. You know, doesn't mean it's not going to go up to the moon and back. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means, you know, I'm very happy with the profits made. I mean, I don't have to keep trading throughout the day, right? I can spend time with you guys. I can do this. I can spend time with family. I can, you know, get some chores done that, you know, I'm slacking on right now. And, you know, I got some, I exercised this morning. I'm getting a little older, guys. I got to exercise and it felt good. I've been doing it for a little, you know, a couple weeks now, or a week or so. And I like to tell people a couple weeks. So spread the word. Healthy mind, body, and soul. What we got, BTAI is just not giving us what we're looking for, is it? So this is like watching paint dry, right? This is the old watching paint dry, which is a lot of fun. And if you're trading at this time of day, it's 12:49. Then of course, you know, it's high risk, I think, because the volume will be inconsistent and pretty, you know, sporadic. But you can still find some value here and there. You just can't be that guy. You can't be that guy. You cannot be that guy who comes in the chat, you know, end of day and says, oh, did you take this trade? It happened at from 12 o'clock to 12:15 and it went up about 100%. You know, did you take that trade? Oh, you didn't take it? Well, I did. I made $1 million, right? I mean, how many times do we see that, right? I made $1 million. Awesome. Cool. Happy for you. You got to stick to what works for you guys. Stay in your lane. Stick to what works. And what works for me is consistency. Look at this. BTAI getting a small volume pop. We're watching the paint dry on it. We've got a cluster of resistance here. It's working itself through. We've got one here. It's got to work through after. We got one up here. So we've got a lot of levels for this to get through. If anything's going to do it, like I said, though, it's got to be BBAI or excuse BBAI. Excuse me. BTAI. Better get it straight. So BTAI, don't go typing in the wrong ticker. I've done that too many times. Appreciate it, John. Yeah, I'm going to stick to it. Trying to be a healthier me as much as possible. Yeah, I'm with you, Lewis. It's actually a good name. I just don't see it. I just don't see you as a bag holder anymore. I don't know, man. I just don't see it on you. I can't see it. I think you're more of like a, I don't know, a money bag holder. That's what you should say. A money bag. Just change it. Just put money in front of it. Money bag holder. Yeah, I don't know, guys. This is watching that paint dry. This is a lot of fun. Let's check on Tesla real quick. Tesla is hitting resistance 257.79, smaller time frame resistance. We've got 266.47, 260.86. It's grinding on the day. That's pretty cool to see. We've got SPY is moving in the right direction. This one was oversold in the last day, so it'd be nice to see this thing actually pop. But we'll see what happens towards the end of the day. It's getting a little wild. Let's check the calendar. Let's see. Got a few things this week coming up. And no position for myself at this time. Look at that. That's not another red, is it? Guys, that's not another red. How dare you? How dare you give us another red like that right at our resistance level? Well, I'll tell you what. What's saving our butts? Confirmation is saving our butts. This strategy right here, rules, following the rules, not veering off the path, assessing those 5 major red flags, understanding how to manage risk, and the importance of these gaps. And of course, you guys got my personal rules as too. So very important because as we can see, if we didn't have rules, well, maybe we're watching paint dry, biting our nails, and maybe we get green on this trade, but is this a high probability and high breakout type of move? And not only that, but that's the other thing that kind of chaps my behind a little bit, is there's times where traders will come in and they'll say, oh yeah, I bought in here and I made $1 million. Well, there's no volume here. There's very little volume here. So if you're trading tiny size, if you're trading small size, then that's understandable. I can understand that. But you can't be, gloating about profits made if you're trading very small size. I mean, of course, if you're consistently profitable, I don't want to take that away from anyone. But, some of us that are trading a little bit larger size, when we see this type of volume, it's very high risk. Because what's happening is when we try to get filled on the ask or try to get filled on our order, we typically will run into that slippage. And so that means that we're going to be trying to buy here at $3, and then all of a sudden we get filled at $3.10 at the highs, and it knifes down like that. Well, guess what? Now we're down 10 cents a share on this larger size. Or we just don't get filled. We don't get filled on this full order, and that's because, again, lack of volume is lack of liquidity. And so if you're trying to trade 20,000 shares, and the candle only has 14,000 shares, well, you're going to be the first guy in the pool, right? And we don't want to be the first guy in the pool. We want to kind of jump in the pool, ride the wave, and get the heck out before the pool empties itself or gets all nasty. Not the greatest analogy, but I think you guys get the point. Yeah, John, I agree. I agree with you. It's lunchtime. Look at this. It's just coming on down, isn't it? Coming on down. At this point, I would be stopped out. Get out. That's it. Get out. Doesn't mean it won't continue. Doesn't mean you can't get back in, but not sure I'd be trading something like this. Ooh, I heard something on the scanners. What did I hear? What did I hear on the scanners? What do I have? I don't see anything. Might have been a cheapo. What time is it? 12:54. Yeah, so I've got, you guys can see my whole scanner layout. This is my scanner layout here. You can see this is our market hours layout. We've got, this one's really cool actually. We've got the Master Jedi corner. This is really cool. IPO and reverse split channel. Yeah, I think we're watching that paint dry, guys. Is anybody in this one? Anybody listening out there in this one right now? I hope not. I hope not. And I hope if you are in it, you're in it from, down here where it started. I mean, it's a beautiful move. Don't take that away from it. I won't take that away from it one bit. This is a beautiful move. I mean, it started down here at 219. Look at that. 40%. There's nothing wrong with that. And check this out. Whoa. BTAI was oversold. Enters oversold. So it's an oversold bounce. I'm not sure it's going to get much more out of it, but, I can't predict it, guys. I'm not one to sit here and predict where the stock is going to go. I don't do that. I mark the chart. I assess the levels. I set alerts. Right click, set alert. There we go. Boom, we're done. Right? Create. Okay, now I can adjust it if I want it, further down or whatever. If I want to move it down here, I can say, no, alert me if it crosses there. Okay, I will. It's that simple, right? Now I can just, I can get off of here because obviously this is, not a whole lot of fun, is it? So let's get off of there. Let's check out the other paint jobs we got going on here. How are you making out, Pixie? Well, I'm still drying up here. Need to dry up fully before I can get any volume, apparently. All right, let's hop over to Vino again. Vino, you were pretty hot this morning. How you doing now? Well, this job is going to take a little while. These are the contractors coming in. This is going to be a little while. I think that you might want to sit back and relax because this paint's not drying too hot today. I think it's too humid. These stocks must be too humid right now. There we go. FEMY. Let's see what's going on there. We got that one marked. FEMY. Ooh, a volume candle. We got some volume here. Oh, look at the gaps on FEMY too. But if we look left, what do we got? Oh man, we got recent bags. We've got recent bags here. That is, that's dangerous, guys. What does that tell me? This is a scalp type of setup. This is not fresh. This is not anything. If we were looking for continuation, well, it's not continuing right now, is it? Until it gets up to those recent highs. Where was the recent highs? If we look left over here, looking at high at 475 would be the high, 475. Our price right now, 242. Is it going to continue? Well, maybe. It's got, again, it's on the scanner. You know, we're getting some volume here. We can see it on the scanner, FEMY, right? So we're getting some volume here on the bullish momentum. So yeah, it's worth watching. Is it tradable for me? Again, I know I'm pretty selective. I know it probably sounds boring to some, but that's where I found my consistency. No, it's not tradable for me. I'll sit out. We've got 236. You know, these red lines and red levels, these are more like resistance too. So if we go to the Discord and you guys go down to, there's a new channel I added, my chart. Check it out if you can. This is going to give you an example of what you're looking at. So purple levels are minor key levels. Red are minor resistance. I don't look at those as really as tradable levels or going long type levels. White levels are major. And then we've got the price listed as well to each one of them. Close above is bullish. There you go. And close below is bearish. So if you're trading these levels, then a close below one of these key levels, that's it. It's bearish. I don't overstay my welcome. I know for some reason it's hard for a lot of traders to understand that, but that's just the way it is. Get out, can always get back in. So let it go. So FEMY at this point, you know, it's getting some volume. We've got FEMY, we've got BTAI. Where's it at? Over here. Well, guess what? Good thing we didn't get into this one, right? See, how many times has that happened to you guys? If you're in chat right now, if you're watching the live session here, how many times has this happened to you? Where you buy this type of move, it starts to get momentum. You see someone calling it out in chats, and you say, "Ooh, I gotta get that trade in. I gotta do it. I'm itching. I'm just itching for that trade." And then you get into this type of situation, and what are you doing now? Are you holding on to it? Like, this is the problem. I've been there, man. I've been there. It was me. That's why I can speak so freely about this. It's the experience in the market, which you can't just, unfortunately, you can't read in a book. You can't watch in a video. You have to spend time. A lot of people blow up their account before they can really gain a lot of knowledge that's going to be helpful in this market. But regardless, how many times have you been in this situation, saying, "Oh, I bought this. It's going to close over 303. It's going to close over 307. It closed over $3. It's got to get back up." Well, it could. I hope it does. But I don't trade on woulda, coulda, shoulda, and I don't trade on hope. So I've got my my alert set right here. BTAI crossing 305. That's where I'll be watching for possible trade. So guys, you're in chat. What are you watching? What's going on here? We watching any stocks? We seen anything? Let's see. I don't see anything that's really worth watching right now. FEMY, the SPY still strong. It's kind of flattening out right now. I guess it's lunchtime for everyone, isn't it? Vino, we've got some, a little oversold bounce here. That's what's going on here. See, once the chart goes green, then what that is telling us is that it's entering oversold. Doesn't mean that it's going to bounce from there, but a lot of traders will look at that as a possible area to cover. So if you're in the position for, in a short position, maybe you want to cover there when you see these alerts, or maybe you want to, look for, possible cover and get back in soon after, or I don't know, however you want to go about it. But you can see green area means that it's oversold, means that it could see a little bounce. A lot of times it's shorts covering, so this is not a reversal. Just because it enters oversold does not mean it's reversing. It means that you could see a little bounce like this here. Zoom in, zoom up. You got a little alert here. We had our level, bounced up, hit that level. Nothing special, right? Nothing crazy. But if you measure the move, you're looking at 4%, 10 cents per share is what I'm looking for typically in a bounce, but I'm not sure that these are all going to give the same quality of results. Vino, unfortunately, like I said, the chart is just a little too busy for me. PIXY, seeing a small pop in volume here on PIXY, so maybe the paint is finally drying and we can get some action here. What else we got? NVOS, let's see what that's doing. A little cheapo, NVOS. So this one has been marked. It's in our chat, that means. This has got some nice gaps on NVOS. Let me just make sure that this is in our chat. And if not, I'll make sure it is now. I think it is, though. It must be. If I have it marked, it's typically in our chat. And I'll put that it's from the cheapo scanner. So just light volume. What does that mean when I put that it's from the cheapo scanner? That's a scanner that we have specific for cheapos. So it's basically telling us, hey, there's some bullish momentum here. There's some volume here. Maybe you want to take a look at it. You can see NVOS was on the list from earlier. There we go at 11:21. Scroll on down. Let's see. NVOS was here at 9:33. So 9:33 this morning, we had alerts on NVOS. Let's take a look at the price action from there. So 9:33 was right in here. So this area right here was where we got the price alerts. We measure that move. It's up about 19%. Nothing crazy on a cheapo. Again, I don't trade cheapos under $1. I just don't like to. I'm not consistently profitable doing so. So I think I'll, watch, get my popcorn ready, and just sit back and enjoy the show. Let's see. We got Charles in Benzinga said AVTX popped. Let's take a look at it. Got this one marked. Ooh, cheapo. Well, I don't know about this, guys. Cheapo here. Looks like it's been falling down ever since yesterday. Hit a high yesterday of, looks 15 cents. Entering overbought. Little cheapo here. AVTX mentioned by Charles over there at Benzinga. Cheapo. This thing's 14 cents, guys. Whew. I don't know about that. I don't think that's for me. What's going on with our BTAI? And look at that. Now BTAI fell all the way down to here where it's now getting a oversold. One of my indicators is letting me know that it's becoming a little oversold. So will we see a little bounce here? Some shorts covering? I'm not sure. But will I take this type of oversold? No. I really prefer to see the oversold alerts on something with high volume. These yellow candles and green and red candles are telling me a story, telling me that there is no volume there. So I think I'll sit back. AVTX is getting a small pop here. Let's take a look at that. AVTX, small pop, 14 cents. It's pretty bad when you start talking about 14-cent stocks. I'm telling you, it's pretty bad when that starts to happen. I think I'll look over at SPY and Tesla before I start doing that. So Tesla is testing a resistance, 257.79. Close over would be great. Would be nice to see. Let's see what it looks like. Let's get rid of some of these. No, we'll keep those. We've got 257.79. Let's see if we can close over and hold over that level. Let's see, what am I hearing? LLAP, another cheapo. Go figure, right? So LLAP, we've got levels on this one as well. Another cheapo moving. Get up there, it's going to be about 100%. We'll see what happens. We'll get this out to our team. It looks like cheapo day, guys. Looks like a cheapo day. LLIP is in chat. If you guys need it, key levels are in chat. Getting a pop here in volume. Look left, see if there's any recent bags. There sure is. Be careful, recent bags in this cheapo here. LLAP, yes, it's getting a volume pop, but did it have volume before? No, it's very inconsistent. So be very careful with something like this. That being said, nice gap. Let's see what the gap is here. I get about 7%. That's not that nice. 7% on a cheapo. I'd rather see something like 20%. Right, guys? Something better than that. No position for myself. Appreciate you guys joining today. If you guys have any questions, if you have a chart you want me to go over, if it's a low float chart, I'll go over that. If you guys have any questions about the way I day trade or my strategy, then feel free to ask away. We've got a whole guide. It's very specific. This guide is over let's see, 58 pages, and it's just got a whole bunch of information in it. So there's a lot of helpful things in here that can really it's in great detail. So I'm trying not to leave anything out, and this is an ongoing guide. So as I add examples and tutorial videos and things like that, it's going to be added into that guide. So right now it's about 58 pages. I think it's like close to 10,000 words. You know, and it's got a whole bunch of pictures, examples. It's got some video tutorials. So it's got all kinds of stuff, all kinds of value in that. And of course, anyone who signs up for that will also get a one-on-one live session with me where I actually go over that, that guide with you in person, or of course, online. But anyways. So guys, no position for myself at this time. We're watching this cheap LLAP right now. BBAI, look at that, getting a small pop from its oversold. Not much to really, you know, take there for anything. Again, low volume, so I'm not sure that's going to give us the type of look we're going for. We've got, let's see, our scanners are going right now. We've got all kinds of value out there. We've got the high of day momentum scanner. We've got the bullish momentum watch. We've got 1 minute volume leaders. Look at that. There's nothing on the list. Oh, there we go. There's a couple. 643 million share float. No, thank you. So AAL, no thanks. We've got the volume hunter below. We've got Master Jedi's corner with the IPOs, the reverse splits, and those SPACs as well. We've got the continuation watch. ICU is on the continuation. So let's take a look at ICU. Let's see. ICU. Well, do you? Oh, yeah. Look at that volume. This looks like the type of volume we've been seeing all day, right? Continuation watch. In order for it to continue, it has to break through its highs. Its highs are all the way up here at 80 cents. So the only way this would be continuation is if it got over 80 cents. So this alert did not pan out to be continuation in the end. So that's supposed to notify us of what ones may be continuation. And the reason I like to see what is continuation is, again, it's going to give me a better idea of how to trade it. So if it's continuation, I know it's not a fresh name. It's not new. This morning, I think Vino was new. So we're looking for newer names. If we find those newer names and newer moves and we get in early, we can really get a hefty percentage if things go our way. If they don't, then, you know, we just don't trade it, or we take smaller size. Really depends on what we see. Brett, I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's Mob from chat, guys, and he's the bomb. The bomb diggity. I appreciate it, Brett. Yeah, there's so much to learn, though. I mean, you know, and that's the thing, guys. I know it's overwhelming. I know it can be, but my goal is to try to simplify it as much as possible. You know, we're trying to educate everyone on, you know, my approach and what we're doing here. And again, my approach is not the only approach. If you're finding consistency and you have consistent profits, then by all means stick to it. But I will tell you this, that I have explored every strategy I can think of, and there is nothing as consistently profitable and nothing as consistent as not taking major losses and mitigating risk as the low float strategy. This confirmation guide is literally saving my butt, literally saving my account. I mean, it's literally saving my account. If it wasn't for this, you know, there was other strategy that we took before, and they were, they were successful, you know, to a degree, but in my opinion, they weren't consistent enough, and that was the issue there. So I love consistency. I'm addicted to consistency. That's what I love to see. That's what I want to see. So, you know, that's what I'm looking for. I thrive for that. But I don't think we have anything to watch, guys. We've got this Trader Talk session going on. I think it's just more me yapping than it is anything else. We don't have anything to give us a good example of confirmation at this time. We had BTAI. We were looking for that confirmation, but we did not get it. So what would we do for trading confirmation? We would not take the trade, and that's because there is rules to the strategy. Very important. So guys, I think that's it for me. I think I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to take a break, go visit with the family. This is what I mean. Set your alerts, guys. Just right click, add alert. There we go. We're done, right? I don't need to sit here all day long. These alerts will come to my my phone as well. So if I'm not here in the office and I'm, you know, spending time with family or I'm doing whatever, and if I really need to come take the trade or want to take the trade, I can do so, right? So I don't miss out on opportunity. And a good tip would be, you know, set your levels or your alerts below your key level. That way, again, we can assess the conditions beforehand. That way we can adjust our approach instead of us just, you know, going in all willy-nilly and throwing, you know, 10,000 shares at this and 10,000 shares at that and then before you know it, you're in the hole, you blow up your account, you're under PDT or whatever, and you know, you're kicking yourself in the butt. So We've got a systematic approach here. If you guys want to join the Discord, I'm more than happy to answer questions and whatever. So reach out anytime. We've got a link in the description, but I also, if you want to join the Discord, we've got a private Discord where I go over all of my trades. I go over charts. I add charts on all of the key levels. I even assess the chart, tell you what level I'm looking to trade beforehand, well beforehand, as we went over in the beginning of this video. So if you're looking to get into that, then please reach out. We'll go over a few things and see if it's a fit for you. bullishboblive@gmail.com. And we do have a free Discord as well. So if you guys want to join the free side of the Discord, I try to post things like, let's see, the videos, of course. We got this in there. If we go down to the free section, you'll see we've got a whole bunch of, I've got the watch list I put in here. We've got videos. So you guys will see it, and you'll get market updates as you see right here. So we do have a free section. We put a market update earlier today. So if you're looking to, find value for free, we've got that too. It's I understand that not everyone can afford the help or the education. But that being said, I do believe that education is key. Knowledge is power. And the truth about trading is it's very, very hard. And if you're doing it alone, it can be even harder. We have a really, really great group that works together. We are all trying to work together as a team. We're basically we're a trade family. And so we're looking to navigate through the market strategically and systematically. We're not looking to get slapped around on some crazy, mistakes that we're making. So I've got, traders in chat that keep me in check. I try to keep everyone else in check as well. And again, my goal is to simplify this as much as possible. So if you guys are in Benzinga, if you're listening in from Benzinga right now, and if you guys joined in and you're in these chats, check out the low float room. I try to add as much as I can in here when I'm available, but of course I am pretty busy all around between my trading and educating and trying to help others. So, but if you guys are in here, take a look in the low float room. So just go to the channels, go to the low float room, and you'll see that I try to post a lot of information in here too. You won't get as much information because there is times where, I'm a little bit busy and I can't just post everywhere, but I try to post as much as possible to, really educate others on my process. That way, if I'm not there, I don't need to hold your hand. You know exactly what to do, according to what I do. Now, you don't have to trade the way I do, but I think it helps to know how other professional traders are approaching the market. And so I'm very happy to say that, I found success with this strategy guide, and a lot of others in our chat have found success with this guide as well. But again, truth of it is, just because you come out and purchase something like this guide and really put in the time and effort into it, that doesn't mean you're going to be a successful trader. There's the truth of it. I mean, that needs to be said. I don't know why that doesn't get said enough, but the truth is that, just because you have all the tools doesn't mean you're going to be able to do the job. So, think of it like a contractor. Maybe you have all the tools in the world, but maybe you're just not capable of doing something like that. And maybe you are, maybe you can become capable. So it does take time. It takes learning, education, mitigating risk. This is something that's obviously a lot different than being a contractor, I would know. But that being said, there's a lot that you can relate to as well. So guys, I appreciate everyone joining today. If you found any value in this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with others. I'm trying to get the education out there. I'm not trying to just be that guy that posts and says, hey, I made $1 million. I told you so. You should have listened. I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm trying to educate others on my process so that way you know and understand fully what I'm doing and what I'm talking about when I say something. If I say something is worth watching over and a close over the certain level and I tell you there's red flags, I hope you understand now what that means. And if you don't, again, please reach out to me anytime. We've got the guide. We've got my doors are always open. So bullishboblive@gmail.com. And again, I appreciate everyone's time. Thank you.